Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. Well, not really replay. Well, officially replay, because that is the replay bar we're seeing over here. But not of a match. This is going to be more of a tutorial type of thing, kind of covering two birds with one stone. One, I've changed out my TvP build order again, with the way I do the fast expand. It's a lot smoother now and really nice and crisp. And two, people have asked me how I develop my strategies and how I develop my build orders. So I'm going to actually go over how I found the problems in my previous TvP build order, like how to identify them, and then how to make changes to the build order and still be safe against the things that Protoss can throw against you. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. We're going to start with my original new TvP build order, where I get only one gas, and then I get two barracks. I get late engineering bay because I don't need the fast planetary fortress, and then a later fortress. So building the supply depot on 10, queuing up to 15 SCVs, and then moving out at about 300 to throw down your command center at 400. So there's the command center. Next step is I get my gas. Boom. And then straight into barracks. This up here, anytime you're doing build order tests, I'd suggest doing something like this. This represents the SCV that's going to be chasing around the probe scout. So you got to kind of plan for like not having a perfect economy because of things like that. So there's the first barracks, and then just keep making SCVs, populate this gas. When you can afford it, throw down the next barracks. There it goes. Then you get up to 19 of 19 and build your engineering bay. Yeah, it's late, but that's okay because we're not going to have the gas for the fortress anyways. Then once that barracks completes, you want to float it down here. Well, I didn't float it to the right place, so not a big deal. Get your bunker, get your orbital commands. You can build SCVs from this command center in the meantime. Get that SCV count going and start making Marines from these barracks.
SCV ready.
Upgrade complete.
This better be good.
And then when you got 150 gas, you make the fortress, and then at this point you're just going for that bio timing push. So don't supply cap yourself. Get your third and fourth barracks down, and possibly fifth. You know, work on stim +1 and combat sim +1 and concussive shell, and then make that push out at like 9 minutes or 10 minutes, somewhere in there. So, seemed like a nice build order. It was an improvement on my old one, but there was holes in it, and it started with Lauren actually pointed out the first problem in this build, and that is right here. We are at 19 of 19. This is going to be my last SCV, and it's going to pop out right about now. Command center is not done. There's still 13 seconds left on it, and SCV takes 17 seconds. So it's actually supply capping me for almost a full SCV's worth. And in fact, this is probably the best case scenario, because normally, I guess my mining typically isn't as efficient on other maps, because I've seen as high as 40 seconds from complete. So I'm actually getting supply capped 1 to 2.5 SCV's worth of time. And that's significant. That's like the whole point of this is to get your economy going pretty hard. And you want the high SCV count since you need to be able to saturate two bases really fast. And this is a hard supply cap. So that's something I got to be wary of. And there's actually going to be other holes in this build that I've come across as well. Another one right here. Boom, this barracks completes. What do I want to build when this barracks completes? Well, I want to float it somewhere, float it down here and make a marine. That's 50 minerals. I want to build a bunker here. That's 150 minerals. I want to build an SCV from this command center, which finishes around the same time as the barracks. So that's 200 minerals. And I want to make an orbital command. That's 350 minerals I want to spend basically right now. How much do I have? 100. Not good. So I'm building my bunker. Still haven't done anything with this command center yet. No orbital coming. Still haven't built a marine. Idle, idle, idle. I haven't made an SCV here. Finally getting the orbital going. Still no Marine. Still no SCV. There's an SCV. Still no Marine coming from this barracks. There's finally the Marine. But I got another barracks done now, so I can't afford the production from... You know, I need to build another SCV here. I need to build 2 Marines here. It's hard to afford all this. And I need to save up 150 for the fortress, because you see I've actually gone over 150 gas, but I don't have the minerals yet for the fortress. I'm just having to stall and wait to get the 150 minerals. And there's the fortress. So you can see that there's that window there when the first barracks finishes where I don't have the minerals to support everything I need. So we're going to make some changes to this build. Now, when developing this build, there's 3 things I got to think of. One is at the 4-minute and 20-second mark. This is a build or test, so just go by this timer up here. Sorry, it's not the 4-minute and 20-second mark. Let me get the timings right. It's right about the 4-minute mark, I believe. Maybe 3 minutes and 50 seconds, I think it is. And that's when the first zealot can show up. If it's in close rush distance, it's like 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Normally it's around 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So the first zealot showing up, I want to have this command center done, because if he comes and snipes my SCV, it's just a huge amount of problems. So you need to finish this command, which means I always have to put down this command center on 15. I can't do barracks first. I can't do gas first. If I want to take a low down command center, I gotta go barracks on 15, or I gotta go command center on 15. Next thing I'll worry about is more or less around the 5-minute and 15-second mark. That's when the first stalker usually shows up. It's right around here. And at this point, this is what I want. I want a completed bunker, and I want hopefully 2 Marines. 1 is okay if I got the second one almost done, but basically you want a bunker of 2 Marines. So if he comes up this ramp, obviously the wall off denies him from coming straight in, and 2, you can put enough firepower on him that he can't like go sniping SCVs on the far side. And then the last thing you want to worry about is right around the say 6-minute 50-second mark. Well, I didn't quite get there, but let's back up touch.
SCV ready.
So right around the 6-minute 30-second mark, but usually more around 7 minutes. That's when the 4-gate will arrive, and at that point you want the fortress complete, and you want the bunker obviously full, and you want a good amount of units up here. But the main key is you want the fortress complete before the 4-gate arrives, because you know his first zealot and stalker can't kill the command center, but the big massive like stalkers and zealots from the 4-gate can kill this command center, so you need the fortress done. So with that, let's go back to what the problems in build were. 1, I get supply caps at 19, which I don't want, and 2, I just have too many things I need to spend money on when the first barracks completes. I need to produce from 2 barracks, I need to produce from 2 command centers, I need to get the orbital, I need to get the bunker. I just can't afford it all. So the first thing that popped in my head is the obvious answer. Got too much stuff to spend money on? How about just get 1 last barracks, and instead of getting that barracks, get a supply depot. That way I have an extra 50 minerals, because I'm getting a supply depot instead of a barracks. I can't afford the second barracks anyways, so it's not a problem there, and this earlier supply depot means I can go beyond 19. So we'll take a look at that and see how that goes.
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready.
So still building the supply on 10, queuing up to 15 SCVs.
Additional supply depots required.
Then building the command center on 400 minerals. Then the gas.
SCV ready.
And then the supply depot, or sorry, the barracks as soon as I can. Probably stupid placement there, should probably place it here, but whatever. Populate the gas, and now this time we're getting a supply depot rather than a barracks. There's my SCV representing the SCV chasing the probe around. So let's see what happens here. We're at 19 supply right now, and you can see we're still a little bit supply capped, 5 seconds, but that's not too big of a deal. Like I I can live with 5 seconds. So still a little bit of supply cap, a little bit of a bump, but still a lot better than the the 15 to 35 seconds that would happen before. So there, the barracks is done. Engineering bay I'm a little bit late on, but not a big deal. So barracks is done. So at this point, I want to build a bunker, get an orbital, and build a marine and an SCV from here. So I still want somewhere close to that 350 minerals. That's okay, this doesn't have to build yet. Bunker's on the way. This is still floating, so I can afford the orbital in a second. Looks like I went marine first. Alright, so still didn't help that much with the hiccup at this part. I mean, it helped some, like I saved that 50 minerals. I don't have to worry about the second barracks pumping anything out, so there's still a hiccup. It's not as big, but it's still apparent. But we'll go ahead and see how this works. So this is around the 5-minute and 15-second mark right now. So I wanted the bunker with 2 marines, and I got that, so that's alright. So this is when the first stalker would arrive. And we'll see how far this replay goes, whether I actually went out to the 6-minute and 30-second mark. Got the fortress done long before I need it for the 4-gate, and then the 4-gate would arrive somewhere around, well, again, I didn't let it go long enough, but we can find out. I'm still in decent shape for the 4-gate. I only got 4 marines. Now, the 4-gate probably won't arrive for another couple of seconds. Let's see what I got on the way. I probably have 2 more marines on the way, and that's it. So 6 marines in a bunker. I guess that's okay. Not as much as I would like. So I want to go back to the supply cap in 19 of 19, because this is where I realized something pretty big that can help me out. So we're hitting 19 right now, and I'm supply capped. But the one thing I was thinking, what if I could build my orbital command right when I reach 19? That way, even though I'm supply capped, it doesn't matter because I'm not producing any units. Like the barracks needs to float down here, and this command center is turning into an orbital. And then by the time I want to make a marine, this command center here will be complete and give me a bunch of supply. But you can see right when I reach 19 of 19, this barracks is nowhere near complete. It's still another 20 seconds off, so I can't actually upgrade this to an orbital. However, the one thing I have noticed in this build that I was always getting early was this fortress. I only need it in time for the 4-gate, which comes around the 6-minute 30-second mark, and I had it done by like 5 minutes and 30 seconds, almost a full minute early. So this is going to lead me to the newest variant on my build order. This is the one I used today, and I can show you how smooth it is. Basically, since I don't need this fortress quite as early, I don't need this gas quite as early, so I can actually go barracks before gas. So here's the newest build order. This is the one I'm going to post in the description, and this is the one I suggest you use if you're going to use my fast expand build. It's really nice. So it's going to open the same way. You still need to make the command center on 15 to keep the first zealot from sniping the SCV creating it. So queue up the supply depot to 15 and place the command center. Now, very next thing is not the gas. You want to build a barracks right away. And now build the gas. So this does slow down your gas intake a little bit, but again, you don't need the fortress that fast anyways. Okay, this guy's chasing the probe around. And then you want to queue up to 19 and then build your second barracks. So here we are at 19 of 19, and this command center is going to complete right now. Now in supply capped. But barracks, 4 seconds from complete. So 1, 2, 3, 4. As soon as it's done, boom, orbital command. So the supply cap, even though I'm at 1919, notice it doesn't matter that I'm supply capped because this is building an orbital, this is floating to its position, and in 8 seconds, I'm going to have 11 supply. So I was able to get the orbital up, I was able to get the bunker going, I still got my second barracks on the way. There we go, making an SCV and a Marine. I can afford all this stuff. I got the orbital coming. And another thing is the faster orbital means a faster mule down, which means I can get my production up quicker, get the 300 minerals from that mule going. Building my engineering bay after all that stuff, after my bunker and orbital command, I throw down the engineering bay. You can even delay it a little bit later.
SCV ready.
There we go, just pumping from these barracks.
SCV ready.
Pumping from this command center. Just keep making SCVs until you got the 150 gas, which is right now. Now upgrading it to a fortress.
This better be good. Who wants some?
So I'm going to pause it here, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. This is when the first stalker shows up, and I'm very happy with that. Obviously I got the wall off, I got a bunker, and I got 3 Marines in it. So even if the stalker's like chrono boosted out and comes in my base at like 5 minutes, I'm still in really good shape. Or 4 minutes and 50 seconds, still in good shape. I got the early quick mule out, which is helping my mineral intake. So I'm able to constantly be producing from these barracks with mule going and this command center turning into a fortress. I got the extra money now to start getting down my production, so there's my 3rd barracks coming.
Armed and ready.
And 4th barracks.
Go, go, go.
Getting another supply depot down. You can see my, even just my unit count, like my supply count's much higher with this build than typical.
Coming through.
And you can see right around the 6 minute 30 second mark to 7 minute mark is when the 4 gate would hit. So here's the 4 gate. Fortress is still done in pretty good time, I think. Let's just check the timing a little bit. It's done in 6 minutes, so it's still done more like well in time, I believe.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's see what we got. We got completed fortress. We got bunker with 4 Marines in it. We got 7 Marines in total. Bring up the unit count here. Yeah, I got 7 Marines in total. I got 3 complete barracks I can pump from. I got a 4th one almost done. And I could have +1 halfway done as well, had I chose to go +1 first. Sometimes they just go stim first. Doesn't really on the fence which to get first. Yeah, so that's my new build, and I find it's much more efficient. 27 SCVs. And I think the key is if we just back up a touch. Yeah, the key is right at this point in the build, right when we're hitting 19 of 19. Just completed, and you can see I'm going to be supply capped for only 4 seconds. If you time it perfectly, maybe you won't be supply capped at all. Well, you'll still be supply capped, but it doesn't matter because you can upgrade this to an orbital as soon as you supply cap yourself. So there you have it. That is my build order. You can kind of see it up in the corner here. I'll also put it in the description. This is what I use versus TvP now, and I find it's just like my old one, but just a lot cleaner. There's no supply cap. There's no like point where I don't have enough minerals to do everything I want to. And it allows me to get a faster mule, more SCVs, get my production up quicker. It's just really, really nice. Yeah, so in the last maybe 2 or 3 videos of my live broadcasts, I've been using this build in my TvPs, so you can take a look at it in action there. And then of course any future videos I'll be using it in my TvPs. And yeah, and I guess just to follow up to answer the question, people are asking me, you know, how do you come up with these build orders, and also how do you come up with strategies? And I assume the strategy people are thinking of is mostly my Master Raven build. And that was just because this sort of fast expand I do versus Zerg, it means I have less mules, but it means I have the opportunity to take 4 gas quicker than any other Terran build order. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll have less minerals and I could have tons of gas. So that made me think of, okay, what sort of gas heavy build can I get? And then just looking at how awesome auto turrets are, they're so cheap in energy cost, and they're powerful, and they're upgradable. You can upgrade their armor and their range, and you can upgrade the energy on the Ravens. And the duration of the auto turret. That's what kind of got me on the Mass Raven thought process. And then I just, if you look at my old videos, you can see I tried it out versus the, like, all different races, but realize it's mostly just a strategy I used versus Zerg. So that, I believe, is a pretty good example of kind of how to develop your own build order. First, you want to look for holes in your existing build order. Are you getting supply gaps at any point? Are you stockpiling a lot of gas that's not being used? Are you short on minerals or short on gas that you need? Are you hampering your SCV count? Are you not expanding soon enough? And then when you go to tweak it, you want to address all those issues. Smooth it out. Make sure there's no supply caps. Make sure you're keeping your money low and spending it efficiently. If you're pulling up extra gas, don't get your refineries early. And then, of course, when you are tweaking the build, you want to think of, okay, what can come at me? Will I be safe versus the various things that can hit me? So the things I was always thinking about is the 4-minute Zealot, the 5-minute Stalker, and the 6.5-minute 4-gate. Those are typically the 3 things that will always be thrown at you, and you want to be super secure versus all 3 of them. And I mean it when I say super secure. You don't want to like have it so close that if you make like one like little mistake in your build order, you're just going to lose the game. If your build order is that agile, unless you're like really good, which I'm not, you're going to die a lot because you're going to make stupid mistakes in your build order like I do all the time. I mean, I've done this build 1,000 times and I still screw it up a lot. I came up with this fast expand into Fortress build before I got the beta. Like, I downloaded like a hacked version of SC2 beta, and this is what I came up with. And even to today, season 3 of the ladder, I still screw up the build all the time. Yeah, so that's my new TvP build. Once again, build order is going to be in the description, and thank you everyone, and goodbye.